Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you today about a few questions and notes along the lines of uh, revenue, e-commerce growth stalls, and just some problems that contribute to that. I get these questions all the time, and I work with uh, businesses of all sizes as they work through this. And a lot of these problems, you might solve them at one point in time in the business journey, whether you've been at that role for a year or 3 years or 10 years. It can be a very iterative process where it's just this ascending kind of staircase of you've solved it once and then some time has gone by, the business has experienced growth and so on, and you get to that threshold of, we're plateauing again. It's almost like bodybuilding or working out. You plateau in certain areas, so you have to find different approaches to overcome that. And so I just, because of the frequency of these issues and how often we are solving problems like this for businesses. I wanted to put this together. Hopefully, it's helpful for you. I've got just a couple notes here, but this is really around if your e-commerce growth feels hard and is frustrating for you. Before jumping into a website redesign or dumping more dollars into traffic, there's no shortcuts here. Just it's simple, but there's no shortcuts. Three things you need to ask yourself. Number one, is friction in the customer journey causing revenue leakage? Second one is are operational inefficiencies limiting your ability to scale? And the last one is if your technology stack is antiquated, is it outdated? Is it no longer aligned with your business? Most growth problems fall into one of those three buckets, and the fastest growing businesses are generally the ones diagnosing the right problem before investing into the solution or before limiting solutions to their budget. Maybe they need to have a bigger discussion or question things within the organization and within leadership, keeping their head above the weeds, asking those bigger questions. So first, let's look at the most common one of revenue leakage. What do I mean by that? So let's imagine you're dumping $100,000 a month into traffic, but when your visitors get to the site, they might be struggling to find information about the products. The product pages might be unclear. They might not have answers to the questions. They might not understand the product fully. They might not be able to navigate or even search your website very effectively, or the checkout process is too frustrating. Um, uh, you know, if the website isn't optimized for mobile, right? Like, have you gone through the mobile experience? You don't really need to focus on traffic here as the problem. It's really about revenue leakage and being introduced through the customer experience on site. Trying to fix this by pouring more traffic into the funnel, it's just like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom of it. You're just making the leak more expensive. So before spending dollars on acquisition, I will ask and will tend to ask questions around where are the hesitations in the buying journey? Where are we seeing customers dropping out of the funnel or hesitating? Or where is the highest cause for customer, maybe it's cart abandonment or customer attrition in general? The lifetime value of the customer, what does that look like? Things like that. And in those areas is really where that growth opportunity typically is hiding. Again, you may have solved some of this for a customer or customer segment, but maybe you've identified new customer segments, or to grow past where you are today, you might need to identify additional customer cross sections, different segments, different market opportunities, and different ways to present your product set to those customers. It all boils into that. The second one is operational friction. This one I see and can attest to it being the most subtle and often most underestimated. And this happens when the business outgrows or outpaces the systems that are supporting it. So while it's great that you're growing, the systems themselves typically aren't, they reach a point where they're no longer supporting your growth. So think inventory issues like ERP bottlenecks. There's manual processes that worked for a while, but now they're becoming cumbersome. Teams are in spreadsheets a lot. Order delays happen. Customer service is now being overwhelmed. As marketing tries to accelerate the pace or plan and strategize, operations just can't keep up. They can't keep the website updated with what the marketing's trying to do, and vice versa, right? And there's maybe critical runtime errors or issues with the ERP syncing and product availability, things like that. You run a launch, site goes down. So the reality is in this situation is that the business isn't scaling, it's just the workload is. The organization at this point can't support that next level of growth, and there is actually risk of displeasing customer base to the point where you're now losing traction faster than you're gaining traction. So that's the balance if it's not corrected soon enough. And the last one is technology misalignment. This one does get expensive very fast. So you might assume a new platform or a new ERP or a new CRM is the solution to your problems or your woes. But I've seen companies spend hundreds of thousands of dollars replatforming only to end up with the same exact problems they started with. Listen to me. The technology itself doesn't fix broken processes, poor customer experiences, or operational inefficiencies. So stop asking what platform should we use. You should be asking what problems are we actually trying to solve here. Otherwise, you're just inviting years of technical debt and complexity. And some businesses do not survive poor decisions in these areas. So the good news here is that every growth problem leaves clues. The challenge is just knowing where to look. So talk to the experts, like and subscribe for more, and visit us at bighornwebsolutions.com.